We ended our last week making new all-time highs and closed around the highs, and it was above expected weekly range, so this meant that options market wasn't properly measuring ranges. This indicates some troubles in the market, in the options predicting, and now if we look at what can we expect today, for today we have around 26 to 21 points of range based from Friday, but we'll see how the day develops, because last week we had bigger ranges. Friday was 20 points, but overall other days were bigger. If we look at the bigger picture, we've rallied an entire week from the lows, which was almost 200 points, if I'm correct. From 100 would be 780. Yeah. So quite an impressive move. And this week, if we've made during this move, we've made two high volume nodes. One was on Friday, and if we look at what can we expect given only those two informations, if we trade around here, we will build bigger volume here. If we trade lower, we will be dragged to the lower high volume node, basically filling this space. And if we can extend higher, maybe we will start building another high volume node higher, so we can traverse this path to the upside. For me, as long as 3850 holds, I think that we are to trend higher, and this area around Thursday's spike and 3850 will be our back to balance. And basically our balance is entire January range, give or take, because we gapped here and then traded higher, tested lower, traded higher, tested lower again, slightly higher than this previous dip. But I think that this range can be treated as one bigger balance. And if we come back, then there is possibility that we will trade entire range with significant bumps around those high volume nodes. If we look at the current situation, overnight is quite timid. We tried higher in the Asian session, then Europe dropped, and we basically made a double distribution. In the overnight we will be gapping slightly to the upside, and that means that the bulls are in control, so I will be monitoring if the gap fills or not. It is quite small, so odds are for a fill, and later if we bounce exactly from the gap, or maybe we test overnight lows and value area high, settle those references, and then get back within above yesterday's range, then I'd like to enter on a pullback to get long and target point of control from the overnight and overnight highs. If we trade maybe different color, if we trade below yesterday's high and start building acceptance, I will like to enter on a pullback targeting yesterday's point of control, yesterday's pullback low, and then yesterday's low. Given that Friday's range was quite tight, it is possible that we make an outside day. However, I will be monitoring here for potential stronger reversals after initial inventory corrections. This entire last week was more or less a straight move to the upside. Now I think that we might see some correction of this last week's move. If we trade higher right away, I think that there's also a possibility for a fade. I'm not sure if I like a fade just here when we break below lower distribution and, for example, revisit point of control, then fall back below. I'm not sure if I can find good enough risk exit for a trade to enter shorts targeting gap fill. And if we rally first, have a failed look above, then I will also enter shorts targeting gap fill. If we start trading within yesterday's range or not, then there is bigger chance that we might see this whole range retraced. And if we start building acceptance above yesterday's range, then it means that we will be more balancing within overnight. So we can see multiple value development both within yesterday's range around this high volume node and also above yesterday's range, maybe around high volume nodes from the overnight. I'm not sure if we can strongly trend in either direction. However, if we break below pullback low from yesterday, there's not much below, as there was not that much trading volume. Here the volume, the point of control isn't that wide, so we didn't make similar volume as on Friday, so we might start trading lower around back to this high volume node we've seen below. So this is going to be a key zone for monitoring if we find rejection from lower prices or if we get acceptance. Preferably I'd like to see some multiple prints building for confirmation that this move will sustain, but we can make this within one TPO, so this can be really quick. And then, well, if you are short, you just don't exit your short, but if not, this also means that the move is stronger if we trade through entire range of previous day without stopping at those significant points. So there's also no point in entering longs in such a stronger move.